Bada bing, bada boom. We are back. Thank you for joining us once again for Roll for Mischief time. The name of the game is Voloheen, Winds of War. The name of this episode, episode 15, is Siren Song, being dungeon mastered by the awesome Asa Kinney right over there. And when we last left off our characters, we were exploring this very scary mine that has been abandoned for who knows how long.
It's even full of spooky, scary skeletons.
Exactly. Too spooky for me. But Eigner has been the blind man leading the almost blind party. I mean, they're not entirely blind, but definitely got a blind man leading them through. He's trying to use this fancy locate creature spell to get a bead on where Ellie's brother is being held captive, and he's trying to lead them through this whole area. We came up upon this iron door, and the last thing that happened before the break was that Eigner heard the sound that sounds like several rustling leaves echoing off the walls around him, and he will freak out at the sound and whirl 180 degrees, and in a very hushed, scared sounding voice will just say, "Be on your guard."
Should we do the invisibility now?
Probably a good idea. Pass the wrench around.
Yeah, Daroon drops his halberd down and hefts his shield, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. And then he gets conked in the head with a wrench.
What's that?
to who? Yeah, I'll just pass the wrench around if that's what we wanted to do it now.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a good
Okay.
enough idea.
What does it take to cast the invisibility with the wrench?
Just an
Is
action.
it an action? Okay.
Yeah.
So, as Eigner heard that sound, and Ellie had seen the dwarven writing etched into the doorway, and then the rustling began. Eigner turned around, gave a scream, and I'm going to have us roll an initiative roll
Mm-hmm.
because we're trying to
Oh.
cast the thing.
Also, Eigner is not going to be able to do invisibility because he has to maintain concentration on locate creature.
Let me just check the.
Invisibility is a concentration.
Yeah, I don't mean the spell. I'm just checking the.
She's
item.
checking to see if
'Cause it might
the
be my
item requires your
concentration.
Oh.
exactly what I was about to say.
Oh, interesting. In which case, you could only have one person be invisible at a time. Oh.
No, it says that they need to concentrate. So
Oh, okay.
the person who casts the spell needs to concentrate.
Let's
So
go.
if everyone casts it themselves, they'll need to concentrate on it themselves.
Alright. Well, Egner's cool with not being invisible. He's got shit to do. He's trying to be a helpful Eigner. Alright, so I need to do an initiative roll.
Yep.
I have an 11.
16.
I have a 14.
And Daroon has a 20.
Oh, look who is quick on the draw, Daroon.
Yep.
Big fancy
like-
man.
So
Don't need
fancy.
to tell me there's danger twice. Hey, dogs. Quiet. They need to be told to be quiet, apparently. Alright. So,
I
I got.
can't
Hey.
hear you.
hi.
How did
I
that
muted
happen?
myself.
That was weird.
As Daroon drops his shield and his halberd, and the wrench begins to get pulled from a bag, he holds that shield up and steps in front of Leah with a halberd out, and his eyes are just casting around in the darkness. And he says, I can't make it out, but there's something moving in there. And then it is Leah's turn. If you
Leah's gone.
Well, okay then.
Well, away from the screen. She's back.
Then
She's back.
it's Leah's turn.
Right. Wow. Okay, it's my turn.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Darun just like stepped in front of you to protect you, and then kind of over his shoulder said, "Can't quite make it out, but there's something moving out there."
Okay. Well, in that case, right, since we don't really know what we're up against yet, if anything, I guess I can do some sort of preparatory cantrip thingy.
You could also get the wrench from Leah or from Ellie. That is a possibility.
Oh, is that what we're also doing at this point?
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah. Being invisible is probably as useful, if not more useful, than any of the spells that I would be able to cast anyway. So yeah, I'll take the wrench and be invisible.
It'll drop as soon as you attack or something. So
yeah, that is true. So do we want to just not do it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it'd be helpful to get the drop on something, too. You know? Even if you just use it just for a little bit to get into a good, advantageous position and then attack or whatever. Like, I think that's just still good enough. Yeah.
Well, but maybe that would be a waste, though, if we want to use it to sneak later.
There are like 10 uses on it.
Right.
We're gonna
an
get
hour at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, my plan is to see what's written on the door and then see if we can just get through the door and get out of this room before whatever it is gets us. So.
Okay, I'm not gonna do the invisibility thing yet. I will, however, do something silly like Blade Ward on myself.
Blade Ward.
Or yeah, Blade Ward. So then until the end of my next turn, I have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Nice.
All right. Good call. As let's see, there are 4 targets.
5 if you count iron, I guess.
There are 5 targets. Oh, I should probably designate numbers before. But based on screen composition, from what I can see, 1 is me, so that's Darun. Wow. So, with the fact that we didn't know where the attack was coming from, the monster had advantage, rolled a 2 both times. So,
Nice.
this large, and I mean like probably half the size of Darun, hunk of white something slams into the wall a few feet from Darun, shattering and splintering bone shards everywhere.
Ooh.
The wall that it hits cracks under the weight of the fist, and Ellie, now looking into the darkness, can see the skeletons rising up off the ground as they sort of mesh and meld together, forming large fists and like bits and pieces of a potential construct. And on that, it is Ellie's turn. What are you going to do?
Okay. Wow.
What does the door say in Dwarven?
The door says, there it is. I am taken from a mine, shut in a wooden case. I am never released, yet I'm used by scribes all over the place.
Fucking riddle. God damn it. Ellie just said it's a fucking riddle.
It's a
Come on.
fucking riddle. That's great.
Oh god, can you write it? Can you put it?
I'll throw it in the chat. Yeah. As Ellie exclaims the fucking riddle line, Darun will laugh. Of course it is. We dwarves love our puzzles.
She's gonna read it out very quickly, so that everybody knows what it is and can start thinking about what to do. I would also like to is there? I presume we have to work out the riddle to open the door because it's not gonna be like a lock or something. Or I can't just dispel magic on it, right? 'Cause-
That is an assumption you can make, but I'm not gonna say what the answer is.
okay. Can I shout to Daroon? Like, are we gonna have to solve this riddle, or could I just cast spell magic on it?
I don't know. Just And he's got his shield up. Bits of bone are beginning to lash against it. Whatever you gotta do, figure it out quick.
All right. Well, everybody think. I'd also say, yeah, they're all piling on top of each other. They're probably gonna have a construct on us if you didn't notice. Let's prepare and think and try and open the door before we have to kill this thing. I don't know if that's a full turn. I've done a lot of talking on my turn.
That's fine. That
Agree.
seemed... What now?
Pardon?
We got
I just said that Ellie talks very fast.
Fucking
I feel like
It's a fucking riddle.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Okay, then. Oh god. Then I'll just hold an action to like what if something like gets within range of me
All right.
and think about a riddle.
All right. Eigner, it
Okay.
is your turn as you begin to feel the bones around your feet starting to wind up around your leg. That is going to hit you, and suddenly your legs are clamped together as they are grasped in a bony grip.
Well, ain't that just great?
You are,
Taking damage?
taking 11 bludgeoning damage as you're well, I don't call it piercing damage because the bones are like piercing into your legs, but you're also restrained as you are being bound in place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Would that count as something being in range to trigger my attack of opportunity? I'm like
Yes,
right
because he was right next to you. Go for it.
Not my attack. My attack.
Mhm.
No choice. Okay, so it's just gonna be one attack, right?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
is it? Do you still get the multi attack?
No.
It's just the one attack.
Oh. 27.
That'll hit.
I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna use it because I can't remember how much it is. 9 radiant damage. Also, the room's lit up now. As soon as my sword comes out.
As soon as your sword comes and lights up, and you just hack these bones wrapping around Eigner's ankles, they shatter and splinter easily underneath the radiant power of your blade. And Eigner, you are no longer restrained.
Nice. Super nice. Okay, so...
I got you.
Thank you. So what that'll do is it'll allow me to do something hopefully a little more helpful. And Eigner just swears loudly and then, takes out his shield. His shield of light goes and it's all ready to go. And he takes out also his holy symbol. His holy symbol of Urana, and he charges forward 30 feet away from the door and closer to the center of the room, and then he will hold the holy symbol up high, and this pulsing ball of light will coalesce in the holy symbol, and then it'll explode outward, bathing the area in light. And he's going to channel divinity, turn undead. hasn't done it very often, but now seems like the perfect opportunity. So,
I was waiting for this chance. I love
oh
it. Go
my
for
god,
it.
it makes me feel like my old school cleric that I used to play back in the day, Asa. My old school cleric was like favorite thing to do was turn undead.
Mm.
Absolute favorite thing to do. And Eigner really hasn't done all that much. So, anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna turn undead. Every undead creature within 30 feet of me must make a wisdom saving throw, the DC of which is 16. Also, Asa,
All right.
I have destroy undead. So if there are any undead in the radius of challenge rating 1/2 or lower and they fail, they're instantly vaporized and destroyed.
All right.
And yeah, so they turn
So as
if they
you,
yeah, oh yeah.
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say if they get turned, they have to run away from me for like a minute or something.
Mhm.
So
So
anyway,
as you begin to emanate this light, uh, the bones nearest to the ground before you just begin to just evaporate into dust, as the others are sort of blown away like a wind, like by a heavy wind. But in the center of the room now, rising up, visible in the light from your shield, is this masked giant standing at about 12 feet tall, just made up of bones, skulls for an eye, a big orcish skull in one eye and a smaller dwarven skull for another, bearing teeth made of rib cages. It smashes its fists together and then starts to lumber directly at Eigner like a gorilla on all knuckles and everything.
bring it.
Yeah, so that was a
Uh,
thing you did.
Yeah, that was pretty much my turn. I can't really use my bonus action for anything great right now, but I'm gonna just just get into a defensive position, maybe pull out Talon's Blade. I also have another Channel Divinity, so if I need to destroy some more bones, clear out some more space for us, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that, as it's lumbering towards Eigner like a giant gorilla, it is Daroon's turn. Daroon gives a shout, a war cry like shout, and charges at the beast, swinging his halberd with great efficiency. The first just glancing off of the thing's thigh, but the second he's able to drive up into the rib cage. And now it is Leah's turn.
Right. I guess I'm gonna do an Eldritch Blast then, aren't I?
I guess so.
On the thingy. Okay. Yay, I'm gonna use my little dice box thingy from the fancy tray.
Boom.
Boom. Okay. Really? Oh, come on.
Oh no. Oh no.
That'd be one natural one.
Oh no.
The other one's a 14, and then there's a 20.
A 14 and a 20. Sorry, I was looking at Daroon's stat block. The 20 definitely hits, and the 14 will hit.
The 14 will also hit.
Yes.
Ah, this feels really familiar.
No. I
Um,
Nothing I do is familiar. It's all very original.
I'm saying that my natural one and then 2 hits.
Oh, gotcha.
I think I've done it at least twice before recently. Okay, then my damage is 18. And what happens with my critical miss?
Critical miss is going to hit Daroon in the back.
No!
Oh no.
God damn.
Daroon can't catch a break.
It's okay. He's tough. He can take it. What was your damages? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The other one was another 8 damage.
Okay. All right, and then that was all the Druid damage too. Was it 8?
Yeah, Darun got 8. The other one got 18.
Okay, perfect. All right, and then with that, the beast rears back a fist now that it's come up in range with Eigner, and brings both of its fists down in a great slam, which is going to be. Does a 14 hit?
Who, me? Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell
Okay, and then
no.
the other one is a natural 19, so it's 28 in total. So
Okay, that hits. He bats the one away with the shield and then gets clocked with the other one.
Yep. Oh, I need one more. Where are you at? And
Bring it, sucker.
that is 24 damage from one fist just
Oof.
slamming down on you.
Oof. Alright. It hurts.
And it opens its mouth and bellows, and bits of bone kind of fleck Eigner's face. And it is now whose turn? Ellie.
Ellie?
Cool.
Yeah,
I gotta make a phone call really quick. I'm really sorry.
I don't forgive you.
Alright. I will do some sort of check to try and work out something more about this riddle.
Okay.
What check is it? Intelligence.
Yep.
Roll that bit. Uh, 18.
Okay. Let's look at this riddle in piece by piece. It was. Okay, taken from a mine, so that's pretty obvious. It's clearly something that's mined by dwarves, probably, and shut in a wooden case. And that's the one where you're getting stumped. What could dwarves take and put into a wooden case? So you skip on down to the last line, looking at used by scribes all over the place, and trying to make that connection of what can dwarves give scribes. Paper's out of the question because that's a tree-based product. Perhaps something to mark paper with.
Charcoal?
It would probably be more likely lead or chalk, or some kind of ink product. But in those cases, like, I was thinking of those too, but then I was thinking, well, it also says never released, and technically, if that's put onto paper, it could be released into the wild. But maybe I was overthinking it.
So you're definitely in the right track with the thinking of where you're going with your thinking, and by that I mean you're nearly there.
Does it look like so? Does it look like or do I feel like I need to just sort of say the answer, or does it look like I need to like deposit something somewhere, or like do I feel like I need to draw on it, or like say if it is chalk, do I need to like cover it in chalk or something? Do you know? What do I think?
I don't know. What do you think? What action will you take to test a hypothesis?
I will. Do I have any chalk? Do I have any chalk?
Probably.
God. This is-
I know that I have ink, and possibly lead also, if we want to throw those at the door.
Y'all do what you gotta do. Eigner's gonna keep this bone thing busy.
Oh,
You
That's
guys
what
work
Darren
on that.
plans to do too. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think I have anything, but is there like, oh God, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to just ask Leah, I guess. Like, do you have any ink, chalk, or lime stone on you to try and touch the door with? And I'm also just gonna like start shouting words at the door. Like,
Ink, chalk, limestone, something.
yeah,
Um,
basically.
I'll start rummaging around my bag to try and locate the pen that I use on my journal, which has ink in it, and I might also use some sort of rudimentary pencil with lead in it.
okay. As you're shouting words, the door is not giving up in any way, but the creature is rearing back a fist to take another punch at Eigner. It is your turn, Eigner.
Well, okay then. What size category would you call this creature?
It is large.
It's a large creature, huh? Wow. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
What would it be for?
Is there? Let's see. So is Darun like right next to me fighting this creature?
He's a little bit behind. It kind of rushed past him, but he is charging up. Yeah, behind it.
No. Oh, he is like in the middle of charging up. I'm just wondering if I can get a flanking bonus on this creature or not.
Yeah, no, he's like behind it. So
Oh, okay. So I can get a flanking bonus. Sick. Well, in that case, I will be just trying to snicker snack hit this creature. For sure, for sure. So,
Okay.
for first attack roll is going to be a 22 on its AC.
Okay.
That'll hit. Okay, I'm going to make this a trip attack. So that will be 11 slashing damage, and then it's got to make a strength saving throw, DC 16, or it falls prone.
Okay, DC 16 or it falls prone.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, no, it. You smash it with your with your shield, and it just pushes against you, putting all of its weight into your body as well, and it does not get knocked prone.
Okay, well, I'm going to do that once more, and that's going to be a 26 on its AC, so another hit, and then this is a really dope damage roll, actually. This is 20 magical slashing damage, and it has to make another strength saving throw, or else it falls prone.
Okay, what was your first damage roll? Sorry.
11 was the first,
11. Okay.
and this one's 20.
Yeah. And this time it will go down.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Darun, moving with a speed, like unreal, like unexpected for his character, is able to dive out of the way as it like falls back and crashes on the ground where he stood a second ago.
And there you go. Alright, and then Eigner is just going to add a little bit of insult to injury and shield bash it while it's on the ground with his light shield. So this is going to be opposed athletics. You know, maybe the guy gets disadvantage, the bone thing gets a disadvantage on its athletics. I don't know. I don't care. So that's going to be a 24 for mine.
Yeah, that's way above it.
Huh? Did I get it?
You got it, yeah.
Okay, so I knock him double prone, and by that I mean I just like, I could do a little bit of damage with the shield when I'd successfully shield bash him. So that's going to be 11 damage, but it's radiant, if that makes any difference.
Yes, it seems to.
Sick. All right, so that's
Your
gonna.
light shield comes down and just
Yeah.
severs parts of the bone. They just sort of melt into ash where your blade hits.
Oh man, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much Eigner, just putting a world of hurt on this thing, knocking it down to the ground, giving Darun an easier time to fuck it up. Oh yeah, Eigner's
Yeah, and
feeling
Darun just-
good.
Begins to bash it with the shield and stab down with his halberd. Actually, Darun's going to chuck his shield to the side and just go to town on this guy just with the halberd. Like both hands just pummel and the blade itself.
All right.
It is going to attempt to kind of fight back, pushing itself up, but it is Leah's turn.
Asa,
Hmm.
does this world have pencils with lead inside of wood?
Yes, it
Is
does.
that the kind of pencil that we have in these days?
That is a type of pencil that exists.
Or
Yes.
graphite?
It
Cool.
would be lead based, but
It would be lead based. Yeah, I figured graphite's a modern construction. Okay. So Leah's gonna run up to the door, shout to Ellie, I think I've got it. Is there somewhere in the door that she can just jam a pencil into, or or something that she can just like scribble the lead onto, or?
well, the door has a lock, and
Mm-hmm.
the words are like engraved, so or etched, or like embedded into
Ah,
the bar on the door. So there are
so
two
she's gonna.
possibilities.
Okay, no, I I like the engraved words thing. She's gonna start like madly scribbling the lead into the indents of the words.
Hmm. And as she does, the ink or the lead in the engraving emanates a faint glowing. Like most of the magic in here, it's very weak. And then the and then the glowing fades. Nothing else notably happens.
Then she's gonna jam it into the lock.
Uh, Pencil jams in the lock, and it doesn't actually turn, but you can feel just by this sort of give, it seems like a pretty standard lock.
Mm-hmm. Well, she'll take the pencil out
All right,
and say to Ellie, I think we're partway there. I don't know.
and that does put us at the creature's turn as it roars and it pushes itself up from its prone space and then takes another swing at Eigner.
Bring it.
Uh, you're gonna wish you didn't say that. Oh, hold on. This is a crit, so it's just maximum damage.
Uh-huh.
Uh, nope, that's not right. Why can't I math? 36 damage.
Oof. Okay.
36 piercing damage. It just brings one fist down on you. The other one smashes into Daroon, pushing him back against the wall, uh, knocking him down. He starts to push himself up, and it's Ellie's turn. Ellie,
Uh, oh,
to the best of your understanding, you're pretty sure the magical element of the lock is gone. But as you try the door, it's still locked.
can I try lock picking it?
Mm-hmm. You may.
Ugh. Okay. What check is that? What do what am I heading to it?
Typically, it's thieves' tools, so but you don't have those, so it would just be a dexterity check.
I have. We
do you have
don't, or
these
I
tools?
don't. Yeah, I have I'm proficient in like every tool set, and I have one of everything.
Oh, okay. Then you have a dexterity, thieves' tools check with dexterity.
Okay.
Or
But
you could use intelligence, because I think your character would be smart enough to understand how a lock mechanism works and use that knowledge to their advantage.
okay, so I'm adding intelligence and proficiency. Is that
Yeah.
how it works? Yeah, right. I mean, it was a crit, so
You crit?
Yep.
Cool.
it's a
Yeah,
30
so,
technically.
That's perfect. You hear the mechanism is difficult. It is a very sturdy, well-made lock. Um, but you do hear it disengage, and then the crossbar that the thing is set into lifts a little bit, and then the door is freed, and you can open
God damn it. Okay.
What?
I just shout, God damn it. Presuming that we could have just looked. I mean, to be fair though, the magic still kind of works, so maybe it helped a little bit. I'm gonna like shove the door open or whatever.
Alright, it opens outward, so you gotta pull it outward and duck inside.
Okay. Pull it towards me and have a quick look on the inside.
Okay. A quick look gives you what looks to be someone's office chamber. There is a desk, there is a door at the far end, and then there is like a seating area, a lounging area. It's not a very big room, but it's comfortable enough that the four of you could get in there and like not be elbow to elbow. And that's what you get at a really quick glance.
Do I like get? Is there any way at all for me to tell if there's even like a slight layer of dust in this room? Like,
Oh yes,
if
everything is
it's-
coated in dust.
right? Okay.
Just like the rest of the mine, things are very dusty.
Okay. I turn around and just shout, "Get in here!" Like, forget that thing. Get in here. Shut the door. And then I'm gonna go around the door. Ein's gonna come around the door.
Alright, yeah, Daroon lifts himself up off the ground and you're gonna tell me twice. And he's got his arm wrapped around his ribs as he's, dragging his halberd behind him. But it's actually Eigner's turn.
Okay. Well, once Eigner gets the idea that Daroon is going to start hoofing it, then he's going to do much the same. The creature is still standing up. So what Eigner is going to do first is that he is going to use his other channel divinity, hold the holy symbol aloft once more, and do another blast. Everything within 30 feet, more bones, and everything undead has to, get the wisdom saving throw going on. He's going to try and really
Yes.
instill the fear in the creature in front of him.
Some more of the bones kind of blast back like a force of wind. Some of the bones along its face and its chest as it leans towards you chip away into ash. But its bulk still remains. And it brings both fists kind of back, ready to just piston them right at you.
Well, not done yet. So let's see. That's an action. I'm going to use a bonus action to try and shield bash the creature down. Alright, so opposed athletics. I have a dirty 20.
I rolled a 1.
Nice. Oh,
Fucking
sick.
Rick and Morty dice.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, in that case, the creature takes 7 radiant damage as I shield bash it right in the face and knock it
Yeah.
prone.
Yeah, your shield comes up as its face is coming down towards you, and just bash. And like you can kind of get a look. It looks like the concept of this construct was to make it look very troll-like. Large husks kind of come down, and your shield just slams against them, cracking the husks and like the jaw, and the whole thing just kind of rears back, and then totters, and then falls and slams on its back. Its fists, hitting the ground and splaying open, bones scattering along the pavement for a moment.
Oh, yeah. So I will do that. So that was with my bonus action. I did my action, and then I'm going to use my move action, and I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to use evasive footwork, which is one of my maneuvers, and I'm going to add this superiority die roll to my AC, so that's 5 more AC while I'm moving away. So if it takes an attack of opportunity against me, it will have a harder time hitting me. And
It is prone. It will not take an attack of
oh,
opportunity.
okay. Well, that's fine. And then Eigner will run 30 feet
Good
back
plan,
to the door. And he'll just shout to Daroon, "Run!"
All right. Sorry, I lost initiative track again. One of the things I'm terrible at is initiative following, just so you know. Alright, Daroon is making his way to the door already, so he just is able to duck himself inside And that makes it Leah's turn.
I mean, she's already at the door. She must have just gotten distracted by all the stuff going on. So yeah, she'll just go through the door as well.
All right. And last, I think Ellie's last to go through the door, or is Eigner still kind of held back?
Ellie already went through.
Yeah, I was.
That's right.
supposed to.
Okay.
I think Egner's the
So-
last one through.
All right. The creature is able to just push itself up and kind of crack all the bones of its body as it begins to charge at the door. Eigner rushes through, slamming it behind him. You hear the crash and clatter as this thing just slams against the door. All of you are breathing heavy in the small office room. Your breaths causing the dust on the surfaces to billow and catch in your lungs and make you cough again. But the immediate threat seems to be abated.
Leah. Oh, go on.
No, it's okay.
Leah puts a hand, like grabs Ellie's shoulder and says, "Good job." And she's actually kind of elated right now. Although you just see it on her face. She's not like bleeding it into other people because she's got control.
She grins at Leah and just says, "Teamwork." And then turns to Eigner and says, "Have you still got the locate spell on?"
Yes. Well, actually, now that you say that,
Did you make your saving throws?
yeah, I should have made concentration saves.
So you took 2 really heavy hits.
I did indeed.
So there's a DC 13 for the 26 damage you took, and then there was it's a DC 12 for the 24 damage you took, and then there's right, and then the other one is 38 damage.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'll just roll 2 saving throws, and you tell me whether or not I made them. So
Okay.
it's 2 Constitution saves coming right up. Wait, it's a Constitution saving throw. Yeah, so
It is Constitution saving
I'm actually better at these. All right, so the first one is a 19, and
Okay,
the
that passes.
second one is a sick 18 plus 7 is 25.
Yeah, despite the hammering of this giant beast, you were able to pull off,
Ah.
keeping that concentration save up.
So chill. Egner wants to take a short rest so bad, but also cannot take the time. So Egner's going to actually do a little healing spell on himself. He's going to use one of his 3rd level slots. It's a big enough deal for him right now to get that going on.
All right.
Healing.
Darun is also taking a second, inspecting his, lifting his
Pathetic.
armor, kind of moving out of the way. He's actually taking his breastplate off because he's just having trouble breathing. And able to see his ribs, which are red and bruising.
Well, Egner's also going to throw a healing spell on him as well. Darun gets... oh god, I rolled so much better for him. Darun gets 15 back.
He, mighty fine of you, boy. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Then looks around. This is a interesting little place to have in a mine. He picks up a mug off of the nearest table. Says, "Looks like this is maybe someone's office space or something. Some sort of administrator."
Maybe there are maps or something. Not that we have Eigner guiding us, but could I have a very quick route around? Like Ellie's still like, we just need to go. We need to keep moving. But I'm gonna take a quick look through the desk for maps or anything like that.
Yeah, you jump slightly as you hear another bash against the door, but the desk next to you seems to have some dried papers sitting on it, covered in a layer of dust. As you rustle through them, you find a lot of ledger notes, and tucked back in this back part of this little compartment of the desk is a small leather-bound journal. As far as maps or anything goes, you are able to find a layout of the mine itself. at quick glance.
I'll take the journal and the map, but then I'll just be like, Agner, you need to keep leading us. We need to go.
So,
Yeah.
Egner, your sense of sorry, that was a weird sound. Okay,
It was
your
it was the
sense-
sword right behind you. It kind of went whoosh a little bit. The one that's on the
Oh,
hanger. Yeah,
thank you.
that one.
I got it. Cool.
Hmm.
I gotta fix that. Okay, so your sense of where
Ren is.
Ren is at is leading you to the opposite end of the room, where as you move in that direction, the rest of you see him moving towards the door in the back part of the office.
We go.
And we go. Egner's the
I
first
just-
one through again.
I just watched the sword fall through the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
All right,
fine.
I'll fix that. That's
Yeah.
annoying. I'm gonna take that off so the other one doesn't fall off.
It's fair.
I hope people see that and they're like, "Oh, ghosts."
Ooh, spooky, scary.
All right.
All right.
You open the door, or rather, you try to open the door. It's not locked. No immediate magical traps explode in your face as you
Great.
turn the knob. And it's just a small wooden door leading into another room. This room is slightly larger, but it is very clearly a bed chamber. The central part of the room is made up of a bed, a four-post bed with drapings hanging down. The house clan or the house symbol that Dorinda pointed out on the house guard armor earlier is along the draperies as well. There is a larger version of one of those baths you found in the other room. It is still half full of bubbling, steaming water.
Hmm.
The room itself is much more moist than the rest of the place has been, given this hot spring bathtub that is still adding moisture to the air. For that reason, dust isn't clung to everything, but there still is a thin layer of it. The drapings, give off a bit as you brush past them. This room appears to have no exit, and yet, Eigner, you are being led along and kind of come up and end up bumped up against a wall.
Can so seeing this, I think back to when I watched the Siren Woman open just a dart in the wall in the dream thing. Is there I can't remember what she did, but is there any of those symbols around? Or I think there were symbols everywhere, weren't there? Or is there a command word I can try or something like that?
You may attempt an investigation check if you'd like to look around the room to see if you can find something similar to that.
I guess since Leah also saw those things and also would remember the symbols, she might tell Eigner, "Can you detect magic again? See if there's something hidden to the eye."
Sure. I would be happy to. And Eigner will do it. He'll detect magic.
All
I
right.
got 20 on the investigation check.
Cool. Well, I'm
Before
gonna.
Agnes swoops in and takes the thunder
Egner,
again.
Egner,
and
Thunder,
finds it.
Stealer, Bosch. He will
Give
steal.
Ellie the thunder first.
So Ellie, as Agner's kind of feeling up against this wall, what he's actually feeling, because Agner, you're finding it very strange that this wall has a little bit of give to it, and doesn't feel like stone. It feels like maybe cloth. Ellie, you are watching as he is pushing his hands against a large portrait, and you can see that portrait moving, and see a gap underneath the frame that kind of falls back a little bit from the rest of the wall. And then Eigner, at Leah's suggestion, stops and looks around, activating your sense of magic. And you feel this sort of rustling as though a nest of spiders has been disturbed and is beginning to crawl all over the place. You turn in the direction that this sense comes from, that's coming from the four-post bed. Specifically, you can see this. Seems like the imagery of a human or a dwarf-sized creature covered in spiders, and then on its bound in its hands is an amulet. It's with the amulet and the chain that it's attached to are glowing a faint magical aura, or a strong magical aura. Sorry. Uh, yeah, that is what you find magically.
Eigner will be drawn to the amulet, and he'll go pick it up or take it
Oh
from.
no,
from the
Eigner,
door.
no.
All
Well,
right,
unless anyone stops him or something.
Ellie.
I don't know.
Does Ellie see him do it?
Ellie, you see the picture begin to wobble, and then Agner conveniently turns away and starts to move away from the picture frame, giving you the ability to access it. What are you going to do?
Oh, Doug, why are you touching things? I'm gonna push the painting out of the way, but like, somebody stop him touching things.
Yeah, actually, does Leah see Agner moving toward the
The four-poster bed.
see what Agner is doing?
Uh, yeah, Leah, you could be kind of just watching as Agner and Leah do things, or Agner and Ellie. The room is filled with this immense scraping sound as Ellie is pushing the portrait away from the wall. Its heavy frame scraping against the wall, and that sound sort of coincides with Agner pulling back the drapes of the bed. And then Ellie or Leah, you catch a glimpse of what Agner is doing as he is reaching with his other hand towards something in the center of the bed.
She's going to sharply say to him, Agner, what are you doing?
Eigner will stop and freeze, and he kind of jerks his head around a little bit. It's almost like you snapped him out of like a sleepwalking episode or something. And he says, I thought I sensed something important over here. And then he'll retract his hand and say, maybe, I don't know, maybe you should look at it first. I'm sorry for acting so rashly.
Agner, you're
Yeah,
looking in
she'll
Ellie's
nod.
direction, right?
I'm sorry, what?
You were looking in Ellie's direction, right?
I can now.
That was okay. So
Cool.
yeah, as you're speaking, your magic sense still open. Just you faintly pick up all the auras of the magical items, like the Ellie emanates, some of the magic that kind of bleeds from Leah. Darun himself gives off no sense, making him invisible to you, except that there is something kind of bobbing in the air about 2 feet off the ground behind Ellie. It's a round orb that seems to be sucking in the darkness that you see so much that it is a void within the void you already observe constantly.
Okay. I don't know how to describe the magic that I'm sensing in this room. It's very confusing to me. And at this point, Eigner will start pointing everywhere, and he'll point toward where the orb is and say, "There's a weird orb thing right there that I don't understand, and there's something really powerful in this bed here." Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Whew, well, Leah doesn't know anything about magic. But I suppose I could also just have her, like, maybe do a check to see if there's anything about it that might seem familiar to her with the limited amount of knowledge that she does have, i.e., if there's anything Fey related.
Of the magical item in the bed.
Either of the magical happenings.
Well, as you spin around to see where Egner's pointing, he's pointing at Darun when he's talking about this
The magical
thing.
orb.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Darun, following the finger, looking at him, I'm not a magical orb. I'm a dwarf.
Look, I'm just calling it like I'm seeing it.
Ah.
but because you have the detect magic on, he doesn't have any like illusion magic or anything on him. He's just an orb of.
Well, the orb is floating off the ground, so he's like pointing it to Darun, but he's pointing a little bit down. And if you're more specific about where his finger's pointing, it's pointing at Darun's belt pouch.
Yeah, there's something there, and there's something there.
And Eigner didn't notice the orb and the belt pouch at any time previously, correct? Like this is a new development.
He has never looked at Darun with his divine thing open
Detect magic. Yeah.
Oh,
Detect
I
magic open. So he's never had the opportunity to see this. That's why it's coming as a revelation.
What do you have in your pouches, Darun?
He frowns, his beard, his like mustache kind of just swallowing his mouth as he does, and he looks down his pouch and says, "Well, I had not intended to bring this up until it was time to go, but what I got in here," he pats his pouch. This is your escape plan. This is how you get out. Remember how I said I got your escape covered? This is it. I'm afraid I can't really tell you too much more. But yeah.
Well, that's fine.
All right. Well, that's settled. What the hell is this over here? And Egner will keep pointing at the four-poster bed because he like really is itching to get his hands on this little thing in here.
I'm gonna slap his hand down if he tries to reach for it.
I mean, what is it? Come on. Someone else look in there. What is it?
So getting frustrated now by this. So I presume like there's nothing there unless you've got detect magic. So then I'm just gonna cast detect magic myself.
Can you, if you look at where Agner's at, if he's holding back the curtain still, in the bed from your vantage point and only yours, because Leah and Darun are on the other side of the bed, you see a corpse, a dwarven corpse, long beard trailing all the way down to his feet, white hair just spread across the bed almost to the edge of it. The clothes are very formal and stately, and his fingers are across his chest, bound, doing the whole like cross the chest interlaced thing, and wrapped around them is a necklace, and sitting the amulet of the necklace is what appears to be made of just tree bark, and it is a black and red snake, or two rather, spinning around, consuming the end of each other's tail.
Ouroboros.
Think of it as if you mixed yin and yang and the Ouroboros. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
I describe it to Eigner and say that it's being held by some like old dwarf corpse. Touching it is probably not the best idea, but
Doesn't seem like he's gonna need it for any longer, though.
I mean, Ellie doesn't know you saw spiders coming off of it, but
It's true, but Carrie does.
That's what it's called.
Look,
Well, we it might
Look.
disturb that. Like he might wake up and then we've got another dead guy to fight, and like we've got bigger problems.
if you don't think it's a good
Why do you
idea-
want it so much, Eigner?
Um,
What?
I think it could be very useful.
That's very vague.
I mean, look, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not smart like Ellie. I don't really, can't really use my words all good like you can. Um, I just I think it could be useful, but I will listen to reason if y'all think we should just get out of here and leave this poor sap to hold on to his amulet. But I think it could be
Right.
very
What?
helpful.
Okay, so Ellie like puts her hands on her hips, all like business like. Like, right, what magic do you see coming off of it? What school of magic is it?
Uh, Eigner will take another look, not getting too obsessed with the spidery visuals of the spiders all over it, but he'll try and get a sense. Maybe it'll be a vague thing, like he doesn't know the school of magic necessarily, but he'll get a color, and then he'll say the color, and then maybe Ellie will be able to figure out what
Um,
color it is.
did
Or...
Ellie describe the object out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it. So it is two different forms of color.
Mm.
Uh, one is like a pink, and the other. Oh, I don't know. I don't have a good understanding of fucking schools of magic.
Well, just.
I hate it so much sometimes. Anyway, Ellie would know by the description that it is enchantment and illusion.
Mm.
So I guess that'd be pink and blue.
It's got this
And
pink blue kind of swirl.
as Ellie, as you described it, Leah, the sign of the was it gray?
Snakes.
Yeah, the sign of the snakes consuming each other is something that Senna had discussed in many of her lessons. The never-ending cycle, as seen by the Fae.
All right. Well, that tracks with the next thing that Leah was going to ask Agner, which it was, does it have Fey magic? You know, like mine.
Does Agner see any similarity between the power coming from Leah and the necklace?
No, just the sense of the schools of magic. Aside from that, any deeper magical connection isn't available. Or isn't
sure.
obvious.
Yeah, well, I'd say it's a
So-
little bit of a pink and blue kind of swirly thing, and yeah, I'm not sure if it's Fey at all.
Right.
So, oh, go on.
Just Ellie, like, she wants to get this done and move on. So she says, right, well, if you want it that badly, I cut his arms off. You put his arms and the item in some cloth. Don't touch it until we can leave and identify it. If it wakes up, then hopefully it's not a vampire, since we know that dwarven vampires are a thing here, and that's not like keeping him asleep or is like, you know, coming back. Maybe he's been killed elsewhere and this was his thing. Well, I don't know if Ellie knows that stuff, but whatever. Probably shouldn't touch it, but you want it, so let's cut his arms off. Take it, not touch the actual thing.
All right, taking his arms too, huh?
Well, up to the point that we need. I don't want to be like touching anything.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's take this thing.
So yeah, Darun like kind of shudders at the mentioning of severing the arms of this dead dwarven leader. I don't know. But business himself with ignoring your actions and looking at the space behind the picture that Ellie had moved as you tear the creature's arms from its body and wrap the amulet in a piece of cloth. You hear this exhalation of breath coming from the dwarf. And in the exhalation come the words, I am the last of us. Do not think ill of me, but I cannot go on alone. Do not choose the black door if you wish to see the sunlight again. And then as the voice diminishes, you all just hear this faint sigh of good luck.
Okay. No black dog. Got it. Put the item away. Eigner, I feel like Ellie's treating Eigner like a sniffer dog at the minute with like, like pointing him back to the direction we need to go. Like, go on.
Okay, Eigner.
Oh, God.
Eigner finishes stuffing the whole thing in his pack. He says, "All right, let's go. We did the thing for me, and all right, we'll go." And Eigner will go back in the direction and go into the space behind the tapestry or painting or whatever, and keep on sniffing out Ren.
Yeah, so um, the space behind the picture is, a bit of a depression into the wall, and Darun has busied himself with kind of shoving on it, and it pushes back. The mortar between the stones not fully set in, opens in that trapdoor style, and leads to a narrow passageway. Again, like everything else in this mine, completely shaded in darkness. As you guys begin to make your way one by one through the small tunnel, what is your marching order?
Eigner, then Ellie.
Yeah.
Then
And Leah,
Eigner at the back.
and Ein.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Ein's able to just barely hunker down his owl bear form, crunch along the path behind you. Maybe grease him up a little bit, Ellie. He's kind of loud, kind of squeaky. And the corridor ends a small circular opening that steps out into a large room. What the hell's calling me? Light is pouring in overhead, and you can see the crisscross pattern of the bars that make up like a sewer grate style pattern above you, the light coming in from the sun. Bits of sand pour in a little bit from the opening, and you can see the top of the ceiling. The opening of the ceiling is about 80 feet in the air. There's trickles of sand come down. The room is this wide expanse. Up against the wall are many desks filled with all forms of colored liquids and beings or organs in formaldehyde. There are a few cages along the walls that could hold beings as large as a troll to as small as a dog. Whatever inhabited those cages has long since died, decomposed, and turned to bones.
Sounds like a vaguely problematic alchemy lab.
As you make your way into the room, I would like Eigner to make a perception check.
Is it based on smelling or hearing?
Yes, it's based on spell.
Sick. Oh my god. 2 3s. So that's an 11 total.
Okay. That is just barely enough.
Ooh.
You pick up a faint odor that you don't recognize right off, but it does not fit with the rest of the air you've been through, and there is the slight taste of blood in the air.
I will whisper, "There's something off about this place. I smell blood."
And as you say that, all of you hear a very distinct clicking sound of a gun being cocked, and a muffled sort of inhalation of breath. And then a voice says, "Yeah, there's something off. The fact that the four of you made it here, you were supposed to die along the way. It's okay. I brought insurance just in case everything didn't go well."
You recognize the voice?
The voice sounds young, sounds dwarven,
Sounds like Daroon's friend that ditched
And-
them.
Yep, Daroon puts his hand over his eyes and says, "Not? What are you doing here?"
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Is that the young one?
It's the young one.
Ugh.
I will. I'll have Eigner slowly shift his body so that he's like covering up Daroon. You know, like he's getting right next to Daroon because he's got a sense that Not really wants to kill Daroon in particular, and he can if Not shoots, Eigner will be able to help with that.
Uh, Ellie, you notice that
Mhm.
on his knees next to Knot, with a bag over his head and some blood stained into the bag itself, is the stature of a dwarven person, and the outfit this one is wearing coincides with what Rory was wearing the last time you saw him.
Oh shit! No, I'm sad, dude. I mean, I should be like, you know, like neener neener neener. No, but I'm sad.
He's kneeling, and he's kind of like struggling a little bit. He's alive.
So he's pointing the gun at us or at Rory.
He's pointing the gun at you.
Right. Okay. Well, let's see what I can do from here. Because how far away from me is he?
He is across the room. I would say, is it 60 feet away?
Just range. Okay, so I'm gonna like whisper out of the corner of my mouth to Eigner to be ready to like go over there behind him, like dimension door behind him.
Don't have the spell
You've got
slot.
that spell.
Don't have the spell slot.
Why?
Because
Oh, you don't have
I had
spell
because I had to
slot.
do locate
Okay.
creature. I had to find
Okay.
Ren.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. 60 feet. Oh my god. Have you got an active surge left?
I do have an axe to surge. Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I'm gonna try and make him drop the gun, but we need to
Mhm.
get over there
For
as
sure.
quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, if you smack me, I can teleport over there. But that would be
Okay.
kind of... It would be confusing for you to smack me in front of other people.
Okay. So we have to hit you for you to teleport behind him. Can you
Yeah, it
teleport
only
60
works
feet?
if I take damage.
Can you go 60 feet?
I think
got
so. Let me double
got-
check.
since Daroon seems to be catching in on Leah a little bit.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of behind Eigner. He drops his halberd, just ever so much, and Leah feels the sharp tip of it stab into her palm.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well,
there's
okay,
a
but
gimme. Yeah.
Drew, I need to cast a spell first.
Yeah.
So like at the same time as this happens, I think I'm gonna cast. I presume the gun's metal, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna cast heat metal at him.
Nice. Nice.
All right.
Not the gun,
Let's.
not him.
What is Eigner gonna do?
Well, he's kind of waiting on something for Ellie to do. So right now his mindset is protect Daroon, but if
Okay.
there's a scuffle, then he's planning on getting right up to Not as quickly as he can.
All right.
Yeah. So, but he's gonna react to that.
So, I would like everyone to make an initiative roll to see how quickly they can make their actions compared to
Mhm.
everyone else.
Oh wow, Eigner rolled really well for once. I get a 19.
13.
Yeah.
What?
A whaty?
Was-
I got 13.
Okay.
I got 10.
Leah's got 10. Okay. I actually forgot Nott's initiative bonus. But I don't think it's going to matter for most of these.
Well, my action actually depends on what Darun's initiative is, since
Darun's
my
faster than you.
action to getting dabbed.
Darun's at 15. So, Eigner, you have stepped in front of Darun. Then Darun has stabbed the tip of his halberd into Ellie's hand. Ellie, yours is a reaction, so go.
No, Leah.
Leah, I'm sorry.
You mean
wrong
Leah's,
characters.
right?
Yeah. I knew what I meant.
And you meant what you said.
So
Okay.
Leah
So
teleports.
Yep. And it is 60 feet. And so you wanted me to pick up the hot weapon, or like
no, separate them somehow. Get Rory away from him. Do something to the guy. Something to like basically disable the guy. Can't think of the word.
Okay. Well, like I don't really have sneak attack abilities, so I could either grab Rory and just like yank him out of reach of the guy, which would be a strength check, and I'm not super strong. I could try and kick the gun out of the way and maybe get a little hot foot.
Here's the real question. What would Ellie do? What would be, or Leah do? What would be her main concern in the situation?
Leah's main concern would be getting Rory out of danger. But if Ellie had told her, or had like said, I'm going to get the gun, I want the gun out of the way, then she might do that.
Well, I said I'm gonna cast heat metal at the gun and make him drop the gun. She was trying to tell Eigner to get over there for when she makes him drop the gun, essentially. So you'd have heard that.
So I will say, unless we want to aim for, you're going for the element of surprise, which means that aside from Ellie giving Eigner the like get over there, the motivation of what Ellie is doing is a mystery to Leah.
Sure. Then probably Leah's first instinct will be to try and drag Rory out of harm's reach.
Okay, so opposing strength checks as she's pulling him away from Nott's loose hold that he appears to have.
Oh, Nott's the kiddo, isn't he? The young one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
but
got,
don't
like,
take pity on him.
He's got like the gun leveled, and then he's kind of loosely holding Rory.
Okay. Right.
But if you pull him while he's still got the gun, he's just going to shoot an attack of opportunity on you. Can you hold your action? Can you appear over there and then hold an action to pull Rory away when the
that
Oh
actually
yeah,
is
I'm
really
invisible.
good.
Also, I forgot to say I'm invisible, so I can just wait.
That's how you end as invisible?
Yeah, I turn invisible, then teleport, then stay invisible until the end of my next turn.
Oh, okay. Well, that actually makes it Ellie's turn, because Leah, you don't go until after Ellie, so... Ellie.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I cast heat metal on the gun. It's
Alright.
a con save.
Alright.
Yeah. 18 is the save.
The metal begins to hold, and Eigner, you smell, well, all of you smell, but I tend to tell Eigner because he's blind. You smell the scent of burning flesh.
Nice.
As Nott grits his teeth, keeps his hold on the gun, and begins to squeeze the trigger. It is Leah's turn.
He'll take damage though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell me the damage for that.
Hang on. Okay, that takes 3d8 fire damage when I cast the spell. And then it's only the con save whether he keeps hold of it, so I think he takes.
He takes the
full
damage every turn that he's holding it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and he has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my turn if he's still holding on to it.
Oh, that's cool.
That is pretty dang good.
What's that roll though? 8 points of fire damage. Do you get that?
8, yes, I did
Yeah.
get that. I just didn't
Um,
register what I was getting.
it's okay. And then I'm gonna send Ein barreling over there, towards him.
Alright, so
He's
his
got
gun
like a,
heats
so
up
he's like, who is he
as
pointing the
Ein
gun
charges.
towards as he starts to pull the trigger? Is it in our direction or in
It's in his
Rory's
direction. It's
Ours,
in
right.
your direction.
Okay, so,
So,
actually I
actually-
might move. Go on.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I might move Ein so he's like in front of us, so he's like giving us cover from it, rather than sending him up there.
Okay. Yeah, so Ein starts barreling toward him, kind of creating a barrier between all of you and him. And Leah, it is your turn. You're grabbing at Rory.
Yeah, actually, what what I would like Leah to attempt to do is to kind of simultaneously shove Knot and Rory, like basically like kind of in the action of yanking Rory away, also shoving Knot to jostle him with the whole like squeezing the trigger thing.
Alright, make your strength check.
Hey, do I get advantage because they don't know I'm there?
Yeah, you're invisible, so you have advantage.
Good. It's 13.
Okay, that will beat his, which was a 9. Yeah, so you get up there, you grab Rory and shove him, and as Knot sort of falls and squeezes that trigger, the room is filled with a thunder crash of this gun going off. And Eigner, having been the one to step in front of Darun to try to take this bullet,
I end up taking a bullet.
it veers off target and hits Ellie.
Sorry. I guess I was helping.
Ellie, you take 10 damage, bludgeoning damage, as a slug hits you in the side of your stomach.
Does it seem like what? So it veers off. Could I tell like why it veered off?
It was the whole thing that as he was falling, just his barrel track went from being on Eigner, or on Darun, just behind Eigner, to just kind of moving to, by the time he actually was around to pulling the trigger, you were the one in line for the bullet. He hits the ground, finally screaming with pain, letting go of the gun. Also tell me what damage he takes for starting his turn holding the weapon.
14, 15.
15, okay. Okay. And now he's like holding his searing hand, just screaming, "This isn't how it's supposed to go!"
Tell me how you really feel, man.
And that puts us back up to Eigner. Eigner, what are you gonna do?
Well, Eigner hears the gun go off. What's up?
Oh, just really quick question. Would Leah have enough time on her turn to yank the hood off of Rory's head? He's hooded, right? He's got like a bag on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Would she have
Yeah.
time to yank that while she's doing that shoving things around action?
Yeah, I'd say as you're like kind of pulling back, you can yank the hood off. Are you just looking to make sure that it's actually Rory? Is that your thought?
Yeah, and also giving him an opportunity to see.
Yeah, you yank the hood off. He has blood streaming down from his nose and mouth, and he's got a wad of cloth shoved into his mouth that's soaked red. His eye looks all swollen, and also you can see, all of you can kind of see as Knot is no longer shielded by Rory. He has a large gash in the left side of his body that Rory was covering.
Oh, Not does. Oh.
Not does.
Oh, he's in worse shape than we thought.
Yeah, Rory
Okay.
put up a fight.
Okay, okay.
So I guess like I kind of probably heard the shot go off, and then Ellie like, maybe not scream, but sound in pain.
Definitely. So Eigner is going to go into action. He's had his shield up the whole time, but now it's like he instantly springs into action, raises his shield in front of him, and just charges forward. And he's going to pop his action surge. So he does his move action to move up 30 feet because Knot was 60 feet away. So he does his move to go up to 30 feet. He takes one of his actions to do the dash action to get up to 60 feet. And then he's going to get up right to Knot. And I think I don't know, he's pretty much of the mindset that he's going to, like, tackle him. Actually, he's going to go first for a shield bash. Poof. So,
Okay.
opposed athletics checks for Knot and myself. Huh?
You just come up. You're able to come up and just clock him in the face with the shield bash, and then
Sick.
just kind of pin him down. That shield bash to the face is enough to, like, he's wavering almost on the edge of consciousness,
Oh, yeah.
kind of muttering as he's there.
All right.
And-
Yeah.
And as Eigner gets knocked down for the count, and Ellie, you've got your hand at your side, you're taking in your bullet wound. Ein goes along to help Eigner with what he's doing, and you see what was standing behind Knot, and the thing that was so easy to miss in all of this, like all of this drama, is a black door.
Great.
That's where we're going to end for tonight.
Great. Wait, we're not supposed to go through the black door, but... Alright. We're going to get this
Don't go
figured
through
out.
the black door.
Don't go through the black door, but what if it's the only door? Alright, well that was exciting. And if you want to see more of this exciting stuff, all you got to do is join us next week at the same time, same channel. And we'll keep this thing a-going. So yeah, thanks for hanging with the Roll for Mischief crew today, and we hope you have a good day.
Yeah,
Later.
See you later.
See ya.